Yeah, you look beautiful.
Okay, fine.
Here, do you want
So paranoia, there might be some spinach. No, I don't want your weird sick sex game.
Come
business.
here.
No, I don't want it.
You're gonna get shiny.
because
You're gonna get shiny.
My eyes itched for 2 days last week.
Do you want to do me?
Oh, is that what this is about? That's what it's about.
Go on.
Okay, babe, let's just take the shine off you, darling.
Thanks, love, because I've just shaved. I always shave before we go on air.
Do you? That's great.
That's not good enough. Welcome to the Checkpoint
I suddenly got some
Podcast.
sense of what you'd look like to wake up next to. Never seen you with your glasses off before.
Have you not? Have you not? I will
Your
go
face looks
contact.
very soft and lovely.
Oh, thanks, love.
I mean,
Thanks.
it looks very nice with the glasses, but, you know, I suddenly imagined you all warm and snuggly from a night's sleep. Crisp, cold morning, but warm under the duvet. Hello.
Hello. All right, thank you for the makeup, love.
Like
Sure you don't want any?
Yes.
Anyway. Hi.
Well, I don't sweat. I have a condition
It's not a condition, that's a
due
superhero
to
power.
a surfeit of adrenaline. Playing Worms 2 in 1998.
1998?
I don't
No,
sweat.
Worms 2 wasn't released until much later
I
than that.
don't, whatever.
Welcome to the Checkpoint Podcast.
Hey!
I'm Jake Tamer. What? He's Jake,
You're not-
yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm really not.
What's wrong?
I'm really not. It's been a long day.
Why?
It's been a long day. The
Mine
magazine's
started at
been out.
5:45. When did yours start?
About 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh, here we
The
go.
little one's not feeling very well.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Been coughing really badly.
Oh no.
Like all night.
Oh, dude.
So it's
I
been
feel
a diff-
terrible. I've been really horrible to you
It's
ever
fine.
since I got here.
It's fine. I'm used to it. Welcome to the Checkpoint Podcast. Hashtag What's the Point? Do get in touch and let us know how you're doing. Jake, how are you doing? Thank you
I'm
for
doing very
being
well,
here.
thank you very much. And may I say, it's been, for me, quite a sort of full circle moment for me this week as my 6-year-old started playing Ratchet and Clank. And it's just,
Exciting
it's
stuff.
just a magical moment because, you know, it's my favourite place in the world. And
How has he
he's in
found it?
Well, I sort of thought, was this going to be a bit, you know,
Inappropriate.
a bit strong
Yeah.
and a bit, you know, because it is
Yeah.
basically Gears of War, but done in
Cartoon
brighter
form.
colours. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I sort of said, okay, well, see what you think. And like he got into it and was just running around. He just had it, just jumping about, shooting everything inside.
Amazing.
I was like, oh, okay, you understand then. And he's away.
Which one is he playing?
The original Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, excellent! And what is that on the Switch?
PS3, he's playing that.
Oh, he's actually got it on the PS3. Brilliant! So you've
Yeah,
got it
I
on
still
the
have
original
my-
platform.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think that was. It was a good. That was. I think the second one was brilliant. But I did love Ratchet and Clank.
Oh man, you can't go wrong with Ratchet and Clank.
No. It's a very, very good game.
It will always make you happy. The music is perfect.
The music is
graphics are
fantastic.
perfect.
Yeah.
It's a funny, witty script, and it has charm and a lot of blam,
And
blam,
it's a-
blam. And automatic targeting, which, come on, guys.
It's a great gateway game, as I like to call it, because it takes elements of platformers, it takes elements of third-person shooters, it takes elements of action-adventure, it takes elements of puzzlers, and it creates a beautiful environment in which it's safe for kids to explore, but also it allows kids to figure out what kind of games they really want to invest in, and that's the kind of game that I really, really quite like. Crash Bandicoot was another one of those types of games that you can do, and even Mario to an extent when they did Mario Galaxy. I don't know if you played Mario Galaxy on the Wii.
No.
My favourite Mario of all time, third-person Mario game. And you're running around picking up stars from different galaxies. So you had platformers, you had puzzling, you had
I love the variety.
It's really good.
I feel some games are quite monotonous.
Well, I think that's the thing because and it's weird because if you go back to that PS3 time, so that PS2, PS3 moment, the genres were pretty much defined. There weren't really a huge array of genres or a mixture of genres as you get now. I mean, you get your action adventures now, whereas before it was just an adventure, which was an RPG game, and that's what the game focused on. Or you had your first-person shooter, and really that was it. But the narrative in video games has always been really interesting because there has been that kind of creative freedom in which almost like the podcast when we know but nobody's listening, so we just say what we want, but off that some gems appear of it, and they set then the tone for that genre that then kind of it lifts that genre up. And Ratchet and Clank is a perfect example of a game that has redefined that kind of genre, but by bringing in lots of different genres and allowing for people to explore what they enjoy the most.
I think it just had this. You're right. It had this variety of activities. I mean, not that huge a variety. You were basically just running around destroying everything in sight. But
for the time.
But it was kind of. It had such an authored feel to it.
Yeah.
Like it felt like a Pixar film or something like that.
Yeah.
You felt an authorial hand on it. It didn't feel like a kind of just give them pizza. They'll be like, it was like a really classy kids party.
Yeah.
Instead of that kind of we'll take them to McDonald's and everyone gets happy, but I don't have to think about it. It was a really curated experience.
Yeah,
And people thought hard about every detail of what was fun.
Well, there are. I mean, now that you brought that up, I mean, I was going to talk to you about Call of Duty, but we can talk about that next week.
No, we talk about that.
No, we won't. Well, I think you've hit a really.
I've said everything I've got to say.
I want to kind of pick up on that really because there are other games that I think that have really redefined, and we did it in the magazine, which is free. Please go and download it.
It's happened.
It's happened.
After
it's free.
all, a year talking
It's just
about
it's been a year. So please go download it. You can get it from your App Store or your Google Play. Just look for magazine, Checkpoint Magazine, and you'll download the app. And then in the app you have to download it. But we speak about this kind of shift in the magazine of the RPG, so role-playing games. Now role-playing games and the kind of this. There's this new wave of people that are playing Dungeons and Dragons again. These
Yes.
kind of board games are coming back, and there's this whole thing going on at the moment, which is quite interesting. And a lot of it, I think, has come from that RPG experience. But the RPG experience was so in depth and so convoluted, and we've spoken about this a lot. I don't really play a lot of RPG games.
Well, I mean, I sort of abandoned the whole genre after Ultimate Koenigsberg 4.
Are we doing that today?
Yeah.
Excellent. But that is interesting because that's where they started from, these text-based adventures or choose your own adventure games.
It was a spin-off from
which
that.
is a spin-off from that. And Ian Livingston, who we did an interview with in the magazine last year, actually.
When it wasn't free.
Is almost seen as the father of the kind of... he's the guy that created Dungeons and Dragons.
We've certainly touched upon him.
So we've touched upon him quite a lot. But
if you want to touch upon Ian Livingston, turn to 236. If you would rather proceed to the dungeon, go to 17.
But there is that experience in which there are these pivotal games. Crackdown is another one that we spoke about in the magazine. I don't know if you ever played Crackdown. It was an open world. It was a game.
It was like Countdown, only everyone was just wild. Is that right?
Well, they were wild, and it was this open environment which you could go around, and it was very much like Ratchet and Clank. And it was released, I think, in 2007 or 2008. It was a game that many people downloaded because you had access to the beta for Halo 3. Right. So people would go out and buy Crackdown because you had access then to play Halo 3, which was the flagship game on the Microsoft. Right. But what people didn't realize, and what they didn't realize, that was Crackdown was this slow burning game, and Crackdown did exactly what Ratchet and Clank did. It took all of the elements and all the madness that you would get from things like Grand Theft Auto, which, by the way, at that point had shifted. It stopped from being that crazy world of Vice City and those kind of things, and moved into GTA 4, which was all about an immigrant story, Nico, who came into New York, and it got very cinematic and very storytelling and very realistic, and great game, but wasn't the same game. And Crackdown filled that void. But Crackdown also, I would say, was the foundation for Assassin's Creed. It was the foundation for the reboot of Lara Croft's Tomb Raider. It did things that, there were games like Prototype that were then released, Infamous, all of these games that started appearing as these action-adventure games can technically be traced back to Crackdown, in the same way as that you could take that and go, well, Crackdown was a future version, if you like, of Ratchet and Clank. So there are these really interesting games that shift, that kind of spin off and fire off a different genre that you wouldn't have expected.
Yeah, it just just feels like people following their interests in the game. You know, it's sort of
it's not story driven. Yeah.
It's played with a real empathy for the player. You know, they understand the rhythm of the game and how it needs to work for you as you play through it. You know, when actually you can just pause the mad shooting and stuff for a second and just do a little puzzle to open a door. I think it's a perfect game. I really do. Of all the games I've ever played.
Yeah, it's a great game. I know Aisha was a big fan of Ratchet and Clank as well. So, you know, it's just that. And that auto-aim, you're talking about the auto-aim thing.
Yeah.
That is a mechanic that's used in lots of first-person and third-person shooters.
You mean you can switch that on?
Most games come shipped with it unless you change the setting. Unless you change the settings to a harder setting, it's and especially in the single-player campaign, there's that adjustment.
I tried to play Gears of War.
Did you?
Yeah, I tried.
We should play that together then.
I tried to play it with Danny Wallace online once.
Oh God.
He kicked me into the curb.
Yeah.
He absolutely destroyed me, and
Well,
he
Danny
had
Wallace,
a great time.
Yeah, of course he does.
It was a bloodbath.
He was the voice of the Animus, I think, or one of the scientists in Assassin's Creed.
Yes,
So
he was one of the first people to do that kind of.
He was absolutely. He did a good job, and we spoke to him about it actually with Ian Lee. But he loves his games. I don't know. Yeah, he is a big gamer actually. But Gears of War isn't your kind of game.
No,
it's not. It's not you.
No, it's catastrophic.
It's what is you actually? That's free on Games Pass, and if you've got Ultimate Games Pass, not Ultimate Koonsberg 4.
No, you can't get that on Games Pass. That's a premium title. It's $89.99
for the just standard edition, the collector's edition, where you get a locket of Laura's hair.
No, you don't. That's weird. Carry on.
Trax is there. Do you remember we spoke about Trax months ago, and I was speaking to you about this sandbox in which you can build your train set and you can build everything?
Yeah,
it's available on Ultimate Games Pass.
Oh, cool.
So you should check that out
and send it to myself.
But yeah, there we go. So that's it really, as far as awesome. What I wanted to say about the Ratchet and Clank thing. But I think it's cool. It's great that he's starting to play those games.
Indiscriminate gunfire.
Well, I think you know, he's got to find his style,
you know,
right?
like 20 years from now, we're looking at the total breakdown of society. I just want him to get his aim in.
You say that, but actually there is this theory.
Why do you think I said it?
No. But there is this theory that we are going to be invaded by aliens. So playing things like Halo and playing things like Resistance of Man, that we are being trained to shoot people. That's
Ecological Armageddon is way closer to the money. Hey, I found this interesting news story.
Okay, go for it.
So a guy, this is in China, accidentally sold his friend's video game character for £400. His friend had spent more than £1 million developing it. 1.1 million. So the man was called Lu Mu, and he developed his character in Justice Online. Justice Online!
Yeah.
Which sounds so 80s. Yeah. Justice Online! Even though the age of online didn't exist. It's a massive multiplayer online role-playing game in China.
Yeah.
Justice, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Justice Online! Like... Justice! Mr. Liu had let his friend Li Mushcheng borrow his customized character in the martial arts game when he tried to sell the character back using Justice Online's internal marketplace. Instead of simply giving it back, the original owner refused to pay up. The character was then sold to a third person over the marketplace for £400.
Wow. So he borrowed the character and then tried to sell it back to the guy that lent him the character.
Yeah.
And then the guy refused.
Yeah.
And so he sold it for what? Hold on a second. That's 0.04% of the price that he'd invested into it.
That was very good. Well done. Children are forbidden, for someone who got up at 3, that's amazing. Children are forbidden by law from playing computer games for more than 90 minutes a day during the week.
Yeah, they are. And that is actually to do with the kind of the real money trading and the farming. And there's been a lot of cases in China, which we spoke about last week, in which people don't sleep. Yeah. There's this addiction, which is not addiction, but it is an addiction, social addiction to the game. And there have been many cases in China where children have died as a result of it. So they brought that law in to stop it from happening.
Unless you're playing
Justice
Ultimate Muslim Conversion 4.
which is haram, by the way. As a Muslim, you're not allowed to forcefully convert anybody.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's be honest. Like the Chinese are deconverting.
Yes, absolutely.
This is not
in the north of China.
Good times.
Another point on that is really interesting, because this is the kind of games. You know how we were talking a couple of weeks ago about this real money trading, about building your characters and selling your characters online.
Yes.
This is a perfect example of people that will spend that time of building it. And there's a whole South Park episode on this on World of Warcraft. I don't know if you remember this or have seen it, which is really funny. So if you want to learn more about that, then go and check.
Have I mentioned guinea pig parkour?
No.
It sounds really good.
Okay.
So I learned about this through Jamie Smart on Twitter.
Okay.
Jamie Smart is a comic book writer and illustrator.
Okay.
And now children's novelist. And my kid is obsessed with his stuff. He does Lushkin and Monkey and Rabbit v Monkey.
Okay, cool.
In the Phoenix comic, among other things. And he saw this thing called guinea pig parkour, which just looks like my kind of game, let's be honest. Where they've launched it on Kickstarter.
Right.
And it looks like it's a game where you're a guinea pig and you have to do parkour. I mean, what more could you possibly want?
I mean, it is. I don't know if you've been watching Seven Worlds, One Planet, David Attenborough's thing.
Wow, they've changed the format.
No, but there is in Europe. They've done this whole thing about hamsters in Vienna. Right. Eating flowers, and there is an element of parkour. They running through and up in graves and jumping through and grabbing stuff. It's actually it's quite funny. That's cool. So I mean, it seems like a thing. Where can people find it? It's on Kickstarter.
If you look on Kickstarter, I'm sure if you look for guinea pig parkour, it looks so cool. It's a hand drawn 2D platformer adventure, inspired by the animated platformers, cartoon shows, and graphic adventure games of the 90s.
Brilliant.
Come on. And look at my jumper.
I mean...
Look at my haircut.
On brand.
It's pure 90s, guys.
On brand, guys.
Yeah.
On brand.
Let's just get fresh with Will Smith.
Yes. Well, do you want to hear about what's going on with Airport Manager?
No. It's not even Airport Manager.
It's Airport Managers.
What are you, Jeremy? Is it Airline Manager?
Airlines Manager, thanks.
What are you, like Jeremy Thingy, the Russian one off of...
Jeremy Clarkson?
No. You remember Jeremy off of Airport?
Oh.
Is that what you are now?
No, that's exactly what I am.
Guys,
Sauce Syria is doing really well. We've opened up no routes this week. Anyway, that's genuinely...
That does give us some sense of how your week's been, though.
Yes.
The fact that that's all your news.
I have literally... I've done nothing on Airports Manager. There are free gifts, though, on Airlines Manager. I said Airports Manager, Airlines Manager. Every day over the course of up to Christmas Day.
Do you want to play Ultimate Coonsburg?
I do, but I want to tell you about another game that I've downloaded very quickly.
Oh, sure.
It's called F1 Manager.
Oh, God. I feel like I know the strain you've been under, and I don't want to make it hard.
That's all I'm going to say this week. Let's play Ultimate Coonsburg 4.
Ultimate Coonsburg 4, the definitive edition.
Yes, let's get back to me and my content. That's what this is really all about.
Wow.
So I'm sure you'll remember, you are Laura Coonsburg.
I am Laura Coonsburg.
And a student riot has just broken out in Georgetown University. And if you don't think quickly, Laura Coonsburg, you'll never get the chance to study hard and become the BBC's chief political editor. That's bad. Sorry, have you got a tape deck? I need to load the next... Okay.
No, the tape deck is on the other side.
It doesn't really matter, I'm just pretending.
Oh, okay. Yes, there's a tape deck on your left, Jake.
Hasn't loaded. Let's rewind it. Hang on. Okay. Ah! There's the music. Excellent. Okay. The riot is going on.
Hold on. Where did we... Because I thought last week we left off... I got to the cafeteria and... I fought...
You got to the canteen.
And I fought
You fought off an orc.
An orc, that's right.
Lunged for you.
Yeah. So how did we...
In the canteen there's a riot.
Oh, there's a riot happening. So I walked into the canteen. Right.
Yeah.
Continuity, for goodness sake.
It's very hard to retain things that I value so little. I don't mean this. I mean this.
Wow.
I mean the game.
Wow.
Not the... Right.
Wow.
To the north, you see a student brandishing a 30-ounce Slurpee cup, about to throw it. To the east, a student clutches her bologna sandwich. What do you do?
You haven't given me any options. You're just saying that there's... Is there a
Well,
narwhal
just
tusk
try.
anywhere?
Just try something. You know, it's a very intelligent system.
Okay, I walk away.
Sorry, but I don't know how to walk something.
I head into the canteen.
Sorry, but I don't know how to head something.
Walk to canteen.
I can't do that.
Walk to bologna sandwich.
I can't do that.
Shout at bologna sandwich.
Sorry, but I don't know how to shout something.
So intelligent.
Two grown men sitting in a garage.
It's not a garage.
Studio.
The studio formerly known
I would
as
say
the
go
garage.
north or east.
Oh, fine. Go east. Where this? No, that's west.
The student stands eating her bologna sandwich. What do you do?
Take bologna sandwich.
Okay, got sandwich.
Eat bologna sandwich.
Sorry, but I don't know how to eat something.
Throw bologna sandwich.
I can't do that. Do you wish to go west, back to where you were, or north to the student brandishing a 30-ounce Slurpee cup?
Head
about to
west.
throw it? To the north, you see a student brandishing a 30-ounce
Head
Slurpee
north.
Okay, you run north to the student and stop them from throwing the Slurpee cup. But she was actually trying to douse the flames of a fire. As you feel your skin turning into crackling, you realize that life is no more than a cluster of atoms screaming momentarily.
Wow.
Game over.
I didn't want to go
Well,
north.
we'll have to reload it.
Oh my God. I didn't want to go north. I tried not to go north.
Wow.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Great. Thanks very much.
Ultimate Koonsberg 4, the definitive edition.
Happy days.
Quiz?
Quiz.
Let's do the quiz. Oh, do it. I love it.
Question number 1.
Question 1.
What does Pikachu mean?
Oh, I don't know. Pikachu, the whole Pokemon thing was the generation after me. Electric moron.
Electric moron. I'll write that down.
No, I know that I know this.
No, you don't. Question 2.
Question 2.
I feel like you're really broken and I'm just kicking you like a... I feel it's like sort of like just... I don't know, like eating soup very messily over a homeless person.
I mean,
doing.
that's in a soup
horrible.
kitchen. Yeah. You can't have any.
What was the fastest selling consumer electronics launch ever? I.e., what product was the fastest selling consumer electronic product ever?
The fastest selling consumer electronic product.
Yep.
I want it. We're not talking about watches or anything like that. You're talking about
A consumer electronics product. That's what I'm going to say. Whatever you ask me.
the fastest selling. I want to say, and it's probably wrong.
But I'm going to let you say it.
I'm going to say the Wii, the original Wii.
The way.
Question 3.
What was it that made the president of Sony sign off on the completely groundbreaking at the time 3-dimensional original PlayStation controller, since all controllers normally had been flat up to then?
What was to repeat the question?
What was it that made the president of Sony sign off on the 3-dimensional controller PlayStation? What was the factor?
Was it? Oh,
And it's not because it fitted anywhere.
the original Sony. Was it because it had? I can't remember if the original Sony controller had a rumble pack in it or not. I want to say because it had like the 6-axis, it had like a rumble pack built in.
Well, which?
Vibration. It was the 6-axis, I think. I think it was because it hadn't. Did it have the
PlayStation 2, mate.
Was it the accelerometer was in the PlayStation 2?
Possibly 3.
I don't know. We'll go with the vibration.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Is it? It might. No, because the Mega Drive had the thing.
What thing?
It had the shoulder buttons. Analog sticks. I think because it had analog sticks and the other ones had D-pads, and the analog stick.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Question 4.
What did Sony send Notch to
You're loving
invite
Sony
him
today, aren't
to E3 in 2013?
Send who? Notch.
Notch,
Who's Notch?
the guy who invented Minecraft.
What did they send him?
Yeah, what was his invite? In what form? What form did his invite take?
It's a great question.
Thank you.
I don't know anything about Minecraft. I don't really care much for it. I didn't even know that Minecraft was on the PlayStation initially.
It wasn't. It was a PC game.
Yeah. Was it a Minecraft console? Like it's like a Minecraft skin.
Yeah, I hear you. I know exactly what you mean.
Question 5.
Customized PlayStation.
Which game had a focus group of American natives who asked not to be playable characters in the game?
Was this the Assassin's Creed in I can't remember which, with Connor in it? With Assassin's Creed 4, was it? 3?
Which?
3, I think it was. Assassin's Creed 3 was the one, whichever one was in America.
Okay.
You played Connor. I can't remember which one, although it's probably wrong.
Should we find out how you did?
Let's not, because I did terribly. I'm pretty sure.
There's still some bonus points you could get.
Oh, jeez, go on.
What does Pikachu mean? You said electric moron, which I did like. No, it's a play on words. Pika Pika means sparkle. And choo choo means squeaking, so it sort of means sparkle squeak.
Sparkle sweet. Electric moron is. I mean, we're not far off.
Electric Moron is a perfect name for a punk band from 1982. I feel like you should travel in time and reform it.
Okay, let's do that. Are you alright? Do you need a drink?
I'm fine.
There's some water here. Would you like some
I sound
water?
like Faisal Islam. No, it's fine. He lost it on the news channels.
Did he?
Yeah, I've got the video on my Twitter somewhere.
Hilarious.
Anyway, what was the fastest selling consumer electronics product ever?
Yeah.
You said the Wii.
Yeah.
Our survey says, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, it was the Kinect sensors for the Xbox 360.
Really?
They sold 10 million units between the device's introduction in November 2010 and March 2011.
That's fascinating, because the Kinect, it's really weird because the Kinect did really well, but with the new generation of the consoles, they got rid of the Kinect. And the Kinect promised, because I saw that at E3 in 2009, and we spoke to Kudo Tesanawa, I can't remember his surname, but he's the guy that was behind it. And the Kinect sensor was amazing because of the amount of points of reference it could use. The camera was incredible. The infrared camera was incredible. When the consumer model came out, when it actually came out, it was crap. It was nowhere as good as the one that they promised they were going to deliver. They then upgraded it for the Xbox One when they released the Xbox One, and then they stopped supporting it.
Yeah.
completely. So that's really interesting, and they did that because they were trying to fight with the iToy.
In the first 2 months, in the first 2 months, they sold 8 million units.
That's incredible.
Most consumer electronics
That's
units
incredible.
ever sold in the first 2 months of its availability on the retail market. I asked you, why did the president of Sony sign off on the 3-dimensional controller? You said analog sticks. No. I thought you might know this because the president, Norio Olga, was a keen pilot, and he liked it because it reminded him of an aeroplane control wheel.
Okay.
And worlds turned on that.
I mean, it's upside down, but okay, whatever.
He also abandoned the traditional practice of labelling joypad buttons.
Yeah, so he went with the square, circle, triangle,
but
because
did
it
you
was
know
ABC.
that the O and the X were reversed
Yes.
in Western territories?
Yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah,
glad I didn't turn that into a question.
Yeah,
then.
they were reversed. But yeah.
What did Sony send Notch to invite him to E3 in 2013? You said a Minecraft console. It was much rarer than that. They sent a gold PS1 to Marcus Persson, aka Notch, as an invitation to its VIP event at the E3 Games conference.
Very cool.
As a bonus point,
Okay.
what did it do?
Oh, I don't know. Played all of the original games.
Well, that was close. I thought you were going to get it for a second there. It played the startup sounds for the PS1, 2, and 3.
That was it.
That was it. It didn't even work. People think it was just a refurb. They just
It's gold plated. They just sprayed it gold. It wasn't
literally-
actually gold. They just sprayed it gold.
You are not far off there. Wasn't that great? Which game had a focus group of American natives who asked not to be playable characters in the game? You said Assassin's Creed 3 in America. It was...
4. It was 4.
Age of Empires.
Oh, interesting. Oh, cool.
So they hired a focus group of Native Americans.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
And what they said was,
I didn't know
please don't make the indigenous Americans a playable race within it, because the potential to totally wipe out each race is just kind of a little bit close for comfort.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, actually.
That was their kind of feedback. So you could trade with Native Americans, but you couldn't annihilate them or play as them.
That's
and
really
be
funny
annihilated.
because actually, having said that, it's making me think of other games like you've said Age of Empires, Civilization. The Native American race doesn't appear.
Does it? What about Red Dead Redemption?
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. It's Red Dead is more about the Wild West and you're a bunch of outlaws. So your biggest thing is actually escaping from the law. It's nothing to do with the.
Right.
So there's no cultural appropriation really as such in Red Dead Redemption. You do come across Native Americans, but your battle is never with them. Your battle is always with the authorities.
Right. You just give them.
And in Red Dead, you are coming to the end of the Wild West period. You're not going out there as a pioneer looking.
Okay.
So you're not looking.
And
to
when do you get to see Lovejoy?
You don't.
What?
I'm sorry, babe.
I've been saving it up just for the boss level with Lovejoy.
You do not want I mean, as much as Red Dead is a lovely game, you do not want to play it. It's not for you.
No, I don't want to be skinning animals. I know all about it.
It's not just the skinning animals. The button controls are convoluted. It's one of those games that you have to play and not leave it. So you can't play it and then leave it for a week and come back to it because you forget all of the buttons. It's one of those games.
I'm having none of that.
So yeah.
By the way, the expansion pack for Age of Empires 3 War Chiefs in 2006 deliberately sort of subverted the pacifist sentiments of the original. This time you could choose 3 indigenous races in order to fight back against the conquest of America.
They say fight back, lose.
Well, you do it, you just contract syphilis. So
Yeah, or any other white man disease.
all of them, mate.
Yeah. Excellent.
You're welcome, world. You're welcome.
Welcome, world. Oh, I want to know, before we go, I want to know what... Thank you for that, by the way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to know
Well
what
done.
games, because I've been thinking about this a lot, what games that you played that changed or helped you redefine your gaming life. So there are points, I presume there's quite a lot of you that watch and listen to this, that will have started gaming, back in the Commodore C64 or the Spectrum, and actually as the games evolved and as the consoles evolved, as gameplay evolved, what, you know, do you end up playing first-person shooters? Do you play action adventures? And I want to know what your pivotal games are. So if you could let us know on
the ones that sort of locked you into a genre.
Yeah, pretty much. It'd be interesting to know what games have done that. For me, Halo was a turning point for first-person shooters, as was SOCOM on the PlayStation 2, actually, which was a really interesting one. You could talk to your team. And this was AI. I mean, and we'll talk about AI in a future podcast, and we will talk about storytelling, because that's where I wanted to go with the COD thing, Call of Duty.
COD.
So
what are you talking about?
yeah, fish.
What's that got to do with the price of?
But I want to know what games locked you into a genre, or helped you find a new genre that you may not have necessarily have played based on your previous gaming experience.
Tomb Raider all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the puzzling. Was it the puzzling?
No, it was how atmospheric it was.
Yeah.
It was so creepy and weird being on your own, and just the sound of it, the echoing around the. Oh man, yeah, I loved it.
Quake for me was another one. Did you ever play Quake?
No. But
Quake
also,
scared me.
If you want to talk about frightening and evocative kind of games, Chucky Egg was.
I'll tell you what, the most frightening game that I ever played. There are two.
That's a good question, though.
Yeah, what's the most frightening game you've ever played? For me, and it wasn't so much frightening as it was completely disturbing. It was Max Payne.
Don't know.
Max Payne was written by Remedy Studios by Sam Lake, who will be interviewing in a future issue of Checkpoint.
Which is free now.
Which is free now, which you can find from your relevant app store.
Checkpoint magazine.
Thank you. He's the guy behind the original Max Payne. He's the guy behind Alan Wake. He's the guy behind Quantum Break. These are the kind of big story-driven.
With a strong A.
Yeah, Finnish developers, and he's incredible. Actually, he picks some great stories. But Max Payne was hugely disturbing for me, the very first one, and I played that on PC, and it's about a detective who loses his family. They get murdered, and there's this one level where you're
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Bless
Carry
you.
on.
Would you like some water?
I'm going to say yes now because I'm wrecking the podcast. Sorry.
It's fine. So there's this one level in which you hear a baby screaming, and you follow this sound,
I'm out.
and it's all. I'm not going to. For those of you that played it, you know the bit that I'm talking about, and it is horrific.
No, absolutely not.
But that helped kind of me move into something away from, because I played a lot of racing and simulator games, as you probably guessed, flight sims.
You do flight sims, did you? Oh, Tamer, you must tell everyone about that. Again.
And then another one that I thought was incredibly dark and sinister was Alice, and it was a dark take on Alice, and an already dark kind of story.
And annoying. So annoying.
Annoying, but
I'm
Alice
so tired of people
was
going,
hard.
I think I'll do a new interpretation of Alice in Wonderland. Damon Albarn, shove off. All of them. I think I'll do a twisted take on Alice. Just because it's out of copyright.
It is twisted. The story itself is twisted enough. It doesn't need another twisted take.
It's just annoying and boring.
Yeah. But no, Alice is good.
I remember I had Alice in Wonderland read by Willie Rushton on cassette, and I used to listen to it. And even, as a kid, I'd be like, oh, it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's so annoying. Well, stop eating the thing if it's making you too big or too small. Just stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what the hell are you eating? Why are you doing this?
Why
You're an idiot.
mushroom? I mean, mushrooms.
Who cares about the white? Who cares? Go home. Thank you. On that note.
You heard it here first, guys. What's the point? Hashtag what's the point? Let us know what you think. Check out the magazine. All of the information obviously is down here. You'll see all of that stuff popping up. So do get in touch.
And hashtag what is the point of Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah. We'd love to know.
Or against. Let's do a poll.
Let's do a poll. What's the poll?
Alice in Wonderland, for, against.
I mean, that's not really a poll.
Good or bad?
Good,
rubbish, or extra rubbish?
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. Bye.